Okay, great day. Well, I pulled some cards on the Idaho 4 murderers, his game plan. You know, he's been caught. And he's waiving the fight to extradition. They're taking him back. And of course, he's pleading innocence. I didn't do it, So what we have, the overview is the Fool. The Fool, I see it as your life path, the choices that you're choosing to make. We start unknowing, and we end at the zero realization, the divine is. But this is the life path. These are the choices that one makes, the way one walks. So what we have in this is he's been blinded, absolutely blinded by the partnership of the Idaho 4, by these students that were so close to each other, the grace of their lives. Why do they have all of this? Why is it their life is so wonderful? He wants to belong. Okay, he really wants to belong, but it was always excluded. The light on it is that he is lost in space. He needs direction. And that's what fueled his whole thing. We have the big shakeup, the opening. He just, like I said, it was jealousy. It was not belonging. It was wanting to be part of this crowd where they seem to just be happy and healthy and having their lives, and he is driven by why don't I have it? Why is my life like it is? So what we have in the center of this, his game plan, we've got the Judgment card. Okay? Above it, we have new actions that are starting to take place. The club is coming out. And the foundation is, now this could be read two different ways. It could be that he took this action. He did these murders. Okay? That's what the judgment is coming down about, the actions that he took. And also this is the double-edged sword, the actions of the long arm of the law. Also, what has gotten him is DNA as well. Say he used the knife, there's DNA, okay? And he thought, again, that he had it all figured out. The criminal mind, because going into it, we have the moving forward, his long-term objective, the mental realm of the long-term objective. He thought he was all suited up and that he knew how he was going to take action. He thought he had himself all protected. I know, I've got the criminal mind. I can get away with it. Okay? The challenge is his past, the past, and the actions that he chose to do forward. Again, mental realm, driven by the mental realm. Okay? And he took those actions. There was a big shakeup, and now it's open. And underneath of it all, we have the Pandora's box. He's trying to keep the lid on the emotions. And there is so much there to be seen, how he was driven. This is causing the tower moment, the downfall for this guy. Okay, while he's trying to keep a lid on the emotions, trying to keep this, but underneath of it all, he's caught the hidden things. He thought he could hide it. He thought he could keep it under wraps. But what did we have? We had the knife, and we had again, going into it, his long-term plans, his long-term mental thing, they're looking at it. And we had the knife. We have DNA, okay? We have his fishtails. We have his interactions on the, and like I was saying, they're going to find stuff on the social networks and stuff. He was talking about the case and talking about some things only the killer would have known that happened in there, with all the time thinking he can manipulate it. Smoke and mirrors, okay? I've got the tools. I've studied this, okay? I am so smart in the mental realm, okay? I'm going to act pure as snow and take these actions, okay? And he also has his family. He had his dad come out and drive with him, so he thinks he's got the support of the family. He thinks that he's smoke and mirrors. He can manipulate this because he's a narcissist, okay? Absolute toxic narcissist that thinks he's so smart, smarter than anyone, just like 45, the same type of mentality. I'm smarter than anyone, okay? I know, okay? And they always claim to be the poor abused ones when they are actually the abuser. They are the perpetrators, and yet they always play the victim, okay? So we are going to have a victory. The energy, the stuff is coming out. It's moving forward. We're going to have a victory because the new information that has come out, grounded information, stuff that happened in the world when it came to, this is what, the sharing of what? The DNA. We've got the DNA stuff, okay? This is what's going to catch him, and justice will be served, okay? So we have got here, DNA does not lie. And this guy was not somebody that they were inviting to their home. There was no reason for his DNA to be there in any way, shape, or form. So they've got him dead to rights. All because of his jealousy, because the grace of their lives, he was blinded by it. Okay, that's what drove him, because he is such a lost person, has no direction, has no understanding, has no, it's that same thing, wanting to belong and yet not able to belong, wanting to have a girlfriend or someone to look up to him, and just driven mad by it. And then he wants to think that he's smart enough that he can get away with this, and yet he couldn't stay away from it. He had to involve himself in discussions of the crime, had to involve himself in the discussions of the crime on the social platforms, okay? So, yeah, it's the toxic narcissist. And he's caught. He is not going anywhere. He's done for. It was like my other reading, when they do this, it's basically suicide, because they're not getting out of it. It's the end of their life. Now, sometimes the suicide comes up, and that's what it means. It's the end of their life. They have screwed themselves. That's it. They're done. Okay? They're done for. Yeah. We've got the information that's being held. Okay? the grounded information of the actions that took place when it comes to this close-knit group. Close-knit, they were, like family. And this is his undoing. This is the death. This is also his undoing. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. This action is coming down. They know exactly what he did. Okay? How he was driven by the subconscious. That's what he was on. The mental stuff was driving him, and he took this action. Okay. Now, when I see the little familiar here, that kind of thought that he could get away with it. Thinking that he could get away with it. Okay. But yeah, no, he's not getting away with it. When I get this, I see that they are, there is that happiness surrounding this with people that he has been caught, and their relief. I feel that this is about the relief. They can go on with their lives now. Mentally, they're standing in this mental realm to know that this guy has been caught, and their lives can go forward. Okay? Their lives can go forward. Because so many people in that community didn't want to go to class, didn't want to leave their home. They were, in fear because of what had taken place. But they're able to go out now and continue their lives forward. Okay? But this guy really thought he could get away with it. Okay? Really thought he was so smart. Read these criminal minds, and that he had this long-term plan because he'd watched them. He was calculating this, okay? Thinking his, father coming and going, that he's going to have the family support, they're going to rally around him, etc. But yeah, no, that's not going to happen. He is done for. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you online.